Welcome to Bayanat, the heartbeat of tech in MENA. We bring you raw stories and sharp insights from the founders, investors, and leaders building the region's startup ecosystem.
Today we're doing a deep dive into a place that's really designed to help founders tackle, well, incredibly challenging environments head on. We're looking at the AUB Innovation Park in Lebanon, the iPark.
Yeah, and our insights, they're coming straight from the source, really, from an interview with Hani Haidar, who's a program manager there at AUB iPark.
hmm
He shared a lot about, the lessons they've picked up, the gaps they still see in the ecosystem, and just how their program is set up for resilience, basically.
Absolutely. So if you're a founder trying to figure out tricky markets or maybe an investor thinking about resilience as like a key factor.
Or even just curious about how ecosystems get built in tough places.
Exactly. Then this deep dive should give you a good look inside.
Yeah.
We're sort of pulling back the curtain on an accelerator built to, well, weather some serious storms.
Okay, so let's get into it. Hani's background is pretty interesting context, right? Mechanical engineer.
Yeah, he tried his own startup first. He mentioned it didn't quite fly.
Right, but that seems key. That experience kind of led him into project management, focusing on entrepreneurship, and now he's running the iPark Accelerator.
It's that mix, isn't it? Technical know-how, plus having actually been in the founder's shoes, it seems to shape how they structure things.
Totally. And what's really interesting is how they see the founder journey. Like it's this clear three-stage process.
Yeah, meeting teams kind of where they are. Stage one is the idea validation phase.
Right. It's like 4 months, a mix of self-paced online stuff, but with definite deliverables you have to hit.
Uh-huh. Hani really emphasized that. He said it's their main filter. Think about it. They might get 150, maybe 200 applications.
Wow.
And they filter that down to about 20 for a jury pitch, and then maybe 15 get into stage two.
So that deliverable requirement early on, it's not just about the idea, is it?
No, exactly. It's about filtering for founder commitment. Are you going to show up and do the work consistently? Which, in a place like Lebanon, that commitment, that resilience is just critical. It's like a practical test right from the beginning.
Makes sense. So you show up, you deliver, then what? Stage two?
Stage two, build and accelerate. This is where it gets really hands-on.
Yeah.
Building the prototype, the MVP.
The minimum viable product, yeah. The basic version to test out.
Right. And they know every team's path is different here. Some are building it themselves. Some might outsource parts. Some might already have a basic version.
And the support changes based on that.
Totally. They do a really thorough needs assessment for each individual startup. That's what stands out.
Okay, and this is where their network comes in, right?
Exactly. Based on what a startup needs, they match them with specific experts. Legal, branding, accounting, you name it.
But it's not just like free coffee chats.
No, no. These experts offer discounted rates on actual services. Things like UX audits, financial modeling, stuff that costs real money and that startups desperately need.
That feels very practical. It's not just abstract advice, it's operational help.
Yeah, and I think the insight there is that in ecosystems like this, sometimes those operational hurdles, the legal structuring, the finance stuff, navigating local quirks, they can be bigger roadblocks than the actual product development.
Good point. So that leads into stage three.
Stage three, go-to-market program. It's a focused 3-month sprint.
Okay.
So all those stage two teams, maybe 15 of them, they pitch again. But this time, it's to an investor jury. Think angel investors, VCs.
That's active investors.
Right, and about 10 teams get selected to push forward into this stage.
And the focus here is
Launching, getting real users, real engagement, hitting actual revenue metrics. They set up demo days, private investor meetups.
so connecting them directly to the money in the market.
Exactly, and that investor jury. They're not just sitting back. They're involved, giving feedback, making introductions. It's an active connection.
Interesting. Now, who is actually applying to this? Anani mentioned it's quite a mix.
It is, but he said engineers tend to dominate. Lots of undergrads, which makes sense being based at AUB.
Sure.
But also alumni, grad students, even staff and faculty members apply.
And they have that one rule, the co-founder role.
Yeah, that's crucial. They learned this the hard way, apparently.
Yeah.
Every startup has to have at least one co-founder who is not currently a student.
Why is that?
Because student-only teams, well, they often stall. Exams come up, big projects are due, and the startup just gets put on pause. Having someone focus solely on the startup helps keep the momentum going.
That's a really practical lesson for any university incubator, actually. Aims for real results.
Definitely. And it ties into iPark's broader mission, which is rooted in AUB's academic goals. Educate, support the ecosystem, empower young people.
But they're looking beyond just AUB now, aren't they?
They are. They're developing online entrepreneurship courses for the wider public, doing outreach like road shows in high schools, running competitions.
Planting the seed early?
Exactly. Building that pipeline, that culture, beyond the university walls. That feels strategic for long-term ecosystem growth.
Okay, running an accelerator anywhere is tough. Running one in Lebanon, I imagine that comes with a steep learning curve. Did Hani share any key takeaways?
Oh, absolutely. Some really valuable lessons came out. First one, data. Centralizing data.
Like using a CRM?
Right, from day one.
Yeah.
He said not having a proper CRM initially caused a lot of scattered info and inefficiency they had to fix later. Basic, maybe, but foundational.
Makes sense. What else?
A really important soft skill for their own team. Truly understanding the startup's needs. Founders, especially early on, sometimes struggle to pinpoint or articulate their biggest challenge.
So the iPark team has to kind of dig it out,
Yeah.
act as translators.
Yeah, pretty much draw out the real core issue, not just the surface problem.
That takes skill.
It does. And then there's the human connection piece.
Yeah.
He talked about how important informal stuff is, hikes, pizza nights, just hanging out.
You build trust.
Exactly. So founders feel comfortable sharing the messy parts, the struggles, not just pitching successes all the time. It creates a real support network.
That's huge. Anything on mentorship?
Yeah, this really resonated. He stressed that the best mentors are the ones driven by a genuine passion for giving back.
Not just doing it for potential financial gain later.
Precisely. The ones who truly enjoy helping founders succeed are just far more effective and committed. You can't really fake that passion.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about, well, the elephant in the room, the specific challenges of the Lebanese ecosystem itself. It's not Silicon Valley, right?
Not even close. And Hada was very candid about the hurdles. A huge one he pointed out is company structuring.
How so?
Well, setting up a company in Lebanon, especially after the financial crisis,
Yeah.
it just doesn't give foreign investors a lot of confidence.
Right. They're hesitant to wire money into a Lebanese bank account.
It's basically a non-starter for many international VCs or angels.
Yeah.
So what do startups do?
They incorporate elsewhere, like Delaware in the U.S.
Exactly. That's a common workaround because foreign investors know Delaware law, it feels safer, more stable. But then you hit the next wall.
Which is?
Trying to open a traditional U.S. bank account for that Delaware company often requires someone to have U.S. residency, which most Lebanese founders don't have.
So it's this constant juggle.
Yeah, Hamin called it the unglamorous truth. It means spending money on costly restructuring, dealing with hidden legal fees, solving problems that just don't exist in more stable places. It's exhausting for founders just trying to be investable internationally.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? Even finding customers locally.
That's another barrier. He mentioned local clients in Lebanon can be quite skeptical, especially of new tech.
Which makes getting early traction really hard, particularly for, say, enterprise software where sales cycles are long anyway.
Right. It just adds another layer of difficulty.
So given all this, how is AUB iPark trying to help founders navigate these, systemic issues?
Well, one interesting strategy is leveraging AUB's newer campus in Cyprus, AUB Mediterranean.
Okay, how does that help?
They're trying to get their startups exposure in Cyprus. It's seen as a more stable market, closer to the EU, with a corporate framework investors are more familiar with.
So kind of a stepping stone.
Potentially. The long-term idea is to help these startups achieve higher valuation exits by enabling them to diversify geographically, tap into EU markets, not just rely on Lebanon.
That makes sense. For investors looking at the region, understanding that need for geographic diversification and maybe even supporting it seems pretty key.
Definitely. So looking forward, what does Hani think the Lebanese ecosystem really needs most right now?
He was very specific about this. Number one, an active angel group.
The early money, seed funding.
Exactly. He said the one that existed before kind of stopped functioning properly after the crisis, and without that source of capital for startups before they're making revenue.
A lot of potentially good companies just can't get off the ground. They die before they even have a chance.
Yeah, that gap is critical. He also mentioned R&D infrastructure.
Right. Lebanon hasn't historically been a big R&D hub, but he highlighted that AUB, especially in the medical field, is actively working on commercializing more of its intellectual property.
So building that bridge from research to business.
Yeah, that's an area with potential that needs more support and investment.
Despite all these challenges, though, did he sound optimistic at all?
You know, he did sense a positive shift. He feels the ecosystem. Maybe because of the failures between, say, 2015 and 2019, it's actually matured.
How so?
People just understand startups better now,
Hmm?
investing, advising. There's more shared knowledge, more realism, perhaps.
And the iPark team itself sounds like a real asset.
Oh, yeah, he made sure to mention the core team, Dr. Yusuf Asfour, Maha Zuaidid, Arthur Bizdikian, Mary Karla, Rita Abdallah, and their network of those passionate mentors we talked about. The quality of the people involved is clearly high.
And they have a big vision for the future, right? Expanding beyond Lebanon.
Right. Very ambitious. The goal over the next 5 years is to really expand the iPark footprint, aiming for a globally recognized brand that can actually produce, unicorn-level startups.
Wow. That's a big leap.
It is. And Hani was realistic about it. He knows that kind of vision really needs government support to become reality.
Is there any sign of that?
Well, there's hope around a new cabinet, some talk about a potential government-led startup fund.
But it's still talk at this stage.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The promises need to turn into actual, tangible action and support for things to really take off on that scale. That's the critical puzzle piece, isn't it?
It really is. So founders and investors there are operating with this
Right.
hope, basically.
Mhm.
Hope that the necessary support structure will eventually show up.
Yeah, so when you think about it, the challenge in a market like Lebanon is really twofold. You're not just building a great product or service.
Right.
You're also constantly battling these fundamental, systemic things: company structure, banking access, building trust in a skeptical market. And all the while, your ultimate success might hinge on whether that bigger ecosystem support, like government action or reliable angel funding, finally kicks in.
It adds this whole other layer of complexity, doesn't it? And demands just an incredible amount of resilience that, frankly, founders in more developed markets don't usually face.
Absolutely. Which makes the success stories that do come out of places like AUB iPark even more impressive, I think.
Yeah.
They really overcome some serious obstacles.
For more stories like this, subscribe to Bayanat's newsletter and stay updated on the latest in MENA's tech and startup ecosystem.